My name is Welking, and I'll be changing the transmission fluid on a 2015 Honda Civic SE. Here's a look at the car. The procedure I'm gonna do, it should be similar for 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015 Honda Civic, but only if the transmission is the same as this car. There's manual transmission, and then there's non-CVT transmission. Those kind of transmission are different from this car. This car has a CVT. CVT stands for continuously variable transmission. So if you got CVT transmission, then the procedure should be the same. And this car does not have a dipstick. I think there's some CVT transmission with dipstick. So if you got a CVT transmission with a dipstick, then the procedure is gonna be a little bit different. There should be a shell right here, but on this car the shell is missing. So to get access to the transmission, you gotta move the shell out of the way. This is the drain plug, and this is the check plug to check the level of the fluid. First, I want to make sure I could break this loose before I start draining the fluid out. Because if I drain the fluid out and I cannot break this loose, then I'm gonna have problem checking the fluid level when I put fluid in. For the check plug, I'm gonna use a 17mm socket in a ratchet. I don't think I'm gonna have enough leverage, so I'm gonna use this to help. It came loose. It wasn't on as tight as I thought it was gonna be. That was easy. This floor jack was for backup. I gotta have to get out of the way. So I got the check plug out. So with the help of this, I was able to break it loose. The transmission fluid got on the floor. I didn't have this pan far enough back here, so transmission got on the floor. This is the drain plug, and you want to make sure you don't lose this. This is the washer for the drain plug. If it leaks, then you'll probably need a new washer. I put the drain plug back on. I finger tight, and then I'm gonna tighten it to 36 foot-pounds. These are the transmission fluid I'll be using. As for transmission fluid, do some research. Make sure you put the right transmission fluid in the car you're working on. If you don't, you'll probably screw up the transmission if you put the wrong fluid in. There is a failed plug down there. I need to move the battery so I'll have easy access to the failed plug. I'm not going to record myself removing the battery. For the battery to remove it, I'm going to first disconnect the negative cable, and then I'll disconnect the positive cable. And then when I put the battery back on, I'll first put the positive on. The positive cable, I'll put that on first, and then I'll put the negative cable on last. So I moved the two cables from the battery, but then I noticed I didn't really need to, cause this is kind of skinny. I could fit in there. The fill plug is down there. This is the fill plug. So I put a funnel down there. I'm gonna keep adding transmission fluid down here. I'll keep adding it until it starts to come out from the check hole here. Once it come out of the check hole, and then I'll stop adding transmission fluid from up here. When it's just dripping a little, then I'll put the check plug back on. For this to be accurate, both sides of the car has to be up. I got both sides up on ramp, but I think this side is a little bit higher because I got that jack stand over there. It might be slightly higher, so I gotta move that jack stand before I put the plug back on. I got the jack stand out of the way. Both sides of the car, they're even now, so the fluid check should be accurate. And it's only dripping very little, so I'm gonna put the check plug back on. For the check plug, I'm gonna tighten it to 32 foot-pounds. The check plug is up there. There's something I wanna mention. If you don't want to put transmission fluid through the fill hole, you could put transmission fluid through the check hole. You could when the check plug is removed, you could pump transmission fluid through this hole here. The way it works is if you got a pump that look kind of like this end you put into the fluid bottle, this end you put into the check hole, and then you could pump transmission fluid through the check hole. I did it through up here because for me up here is easier through the fill plug. I mean through the by removing the fill plug and then putting transmission fluid into the fill hole.